Hello and welcome to my brand new art channel. I have in the past posted on social media before, and I've posted my art content on social media before, but I've never fully taken that leap of making YouTube content because it scared me to do. So I just didn't do it. But today is the day, and I have figured out that the best way to do that is with a random drawing prompt. I actually found these wheels on Google that let me customize them with this first one has cute animal names, and I got capybara, which is exciting because I have drawn them in the past, so maybe, you know, my past experiences can help me with that. And then the second wheel that's coming out in one moment, once I figure out how to work my tablet, is full of random fall words, like fall kind of aesthetic words. And I got sweater. So, sweater and capybara are the two words for the prompt, which means more than likely I will end up drawing a capybara in a sweater because I'm basic. But yeah, so sketchbook down, let's jump right in. The first sketch that I did is just, it gave me so much trouble with positioning and trying to keep it cute and whimsical and simple. I wanted it to look like fat and squishy and friendly, all those kinds of, cutesy words. But I feel like I was using the reference more as like a one-to-one that I wanted rather than a inspiration and drawing it in my style. And I think that kind of ended up biting me in the foot. In the foot? Sure, in the foot. I wanted to give him a little crown because I've been obsessed with cute little guys with little crowns, but I felt like that was going to be too much with the sweater as well. I felt like it was too congested. So I gave up on the first sketch. I put a little sweater on him and then was like, I'm going to try another one, a different position perhaps. And I was going to have him forward facing, but I drew the sketch out of that and then I was like, no, no, that's not going to work. So I erased that, took a pause, found a new reference, and really tried to focus on the shapes I was seeing instead of like what I was like felt like I should be drawing. Because like I felt like a capybara's face is very round, but I was like, it's actually kind of like angular. It slopes down at the nose. They have a smaller nose than the rest of their head shape, so it's not like a complete cylinder. And once I kind of was actually like looking at the references instead of just trying to copy them, I feel like I did a better job. It came out more looking like an actual capybara and less like a cartoon version of that. And there's nothing wrong looking back at the first sketch and being like, okay, it's fine. It's still not my favorite even now looking at it. Um, but I think that the second one came out just a bit better and a bit more how I wanted it to come out. I give him a little skull on his sweater because I feel like it needs a little piece of my aesthetic in there. And I'm really proud of how this one came out. I hold it up to the camera in a second and I'm just like, look what I did. Look what I accomplished. I'm proud of this judgmental capybara. And I was contemplating actually using that as my finished piece. But then as I was scrolling, I found the perfect reference that I just kind of wanted to try and draw. I was like, oh my goodness, he's so cute. So I start blocking him in and really trying to just focus on the overall shape and composition because I really just generally liked the vibe of this one more. I try holding my pencil a little looser and not really focusing on the detail. and just kind of like working on different sections and not hyperfixating on anything. Giving him little sunglasses and making sure I actually put the highlights in there because I struggle with where the highlights should be. So I was using the reference picture to make sure I knew where the highlights were supposed to be. I did still have trouble with a couple things on this drawing. Um, one of them being the band of the sunglasses and where it should sit on the side of the capybara's head because it's not held on by anything. So I was like, should it angle up? Should it angle straight? I do fix it because I think the angled up looks like it's rubber banded to his head, and I don't really like that. Blocking in the arms and the hands, I was still really like kind of impressed with myself that it all kind of looked how I wanted it to look. This arm gave me a little bit of trouble because in the reference I was using, it kind of like swooped out, but then it also had like an elbow area, which capybaras do have elbows, so, understandable. But I was trying to make it not look like, I don't even know how to describe what I thought it looked like. It kind of looked like sausage links, I guess. And then the third thing I struggled with was the dang neckline for the sweater because I didn't want tangential lines, and it was right on where his like face jawline was, and I was like, "Oh my goodness. Where am I thought maybe smaller, but then it still ended up like too close to the jawline, and I was like, well, it's a sweater and his head would be sticking out, so I'd still need that line of like where the sweater was as opposed to where his face was." And I just wasn't sure and wasn't feeling anything that I was drawing for this sweater, but that was the prompt, so I kept at it. And eventually I just figured a simple line for the neckline would look it looked pretty good, so I kept it that way. And I just went back and shaded in the darker areas. And the one thing I forgot to add in the sketch or the recording of the sketch was the skull on the sweater. I added that and I cleaned it up, and I didn't use the skull and crossbones. I just used a cute little skull and a little bit stylized. And yeah, I think he came out really well. I really liked how he came out, and I want to do this again sometime soon. And if you guys liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment if it fancies you, because I love hearing from people, and I want to hear from you guys. And I will definitely be doing this again in the future because I want to grow as an artist and I want to grow my experiences as a person. So definitely, if you want to take this art journey with me, subscribe and we can go on the journey together and see where it takes us. But it's been really cool, and I will talk to you guys in the next video I post. Bye.